All right, thank you again for joining us. My name is Odette and I'm joined today by Nikki, and we both work for Plano Public Library. While we're going to go over some ground rules before we begin our building wealth class, while you're in the Zoom program, you can exit the full screen mode by using the escape key on your keyboard or clicking exit full screen on the top right of your screen. During this webinar, your camera and microphone are turned off. If you have any questions, please type them into the chat, and we will keep track of those. All comments in the chat should remain respectful, and participants that do not follow this rule will be taken out of the webinar. Finally, staff cannot and will not offer any advice on choosing or evaluating any investment or savings product or give specific financial advice. This class is for informational purposes only, and the views expressed do not reflect the official positions of the Federal Reserve System or the Plano Public Library. All right, welcome to Building Wealth. This series was created by the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas to help you as you create a plan for building wealth. This is the second part of a three-part series, and we will cover savings and investing and how it relates to your building wealth journey. All right. First, our objectives for today. First, we will define wealth, clarifying what wealth means to you and your family. And then we will learn the language around building wealth and explore saving and investing. And the next part of the series is about controlling your debt. So if you've pinned to the previous session, you might know some of the at the beginning, but it's important to understand these terms before we continue. Wealth can mean more than having an unlimited amount of money. This is going to be unique to each person. Think to yourself or type in the chat, what does being wealthy mean to you? Does it mean you can help your children with college expenses? Or maybe it means you're able to purchase a home. Keep these initial thoughts in mind as we learn more about building wealth and what it can mean to your financial future. It's important to understand the language used around these financial matters. Assets, liabilities, and net worth are three basic concepts that can help you understand the steps to building wealth. Assets are things that you own that have value. And here are some examples. Cash, savings accounts, retirement accounts, stocks, bonds, houses, cars. Assets can be divided into two broad categories, and what fits into each can change over time. So we have assets, and then we have wealth creating assets. A wealth creating asset is a thing you own that has value, and that value generally increases. What's the difference? A couch is an asset. You can sell a couch for money or trade it in for another item because it has value. A couch is not a wealth creating asset because it decreases in value every year you own it. A house, on the other hand, is a wealth creating asset because generally, it will increase in value. Liabilities are debts, money you owe. These include everything from credit card balances, mortgages, car loans, student loans, and any other type of debt that you owe to a separate entity. And finally, another part, equity is another important component of your net worth and your wealth. As an example, you can list your house both as an asset and a liability. The market value of your house is an asset, how much your house is worth. Unless you own your home outright, you have a mortgage. This is a liability, the money you still owe to a bank. The difference between these two is equity, and equity contributes to your net worth and your wealth. Saving money is a foundational step to building wealth, and this can look like a lot of different things. So we're going to explore the different vehicles you can use to save money. Before we plan out how we're going to save money, we need to have financial goals and a solid budget. We discussed how to create these during our last session, but very briefly, you'll want to calculate your net worth using a balance sheet. So you want to monitor your spending so you know how you're spending your money. Create smart financial goals as part of your building wealth journey and create a budget to help you achieve those goals. This is the roadmap that will help you figure out what the best saving strategy is for you. Again, this is an introduction to the topics we're going to discuss, so it's important you seek to fully understand interest rates and other concepts explored here today. In addition, licensed advisors can provide guidance on your building wealth strategy. We'll place a link in the chat now or later that will, it's resources compiled by the Dallas Fed that can help you in your research if you're trying to find licensed advisors or other reputable information. First, we're going to discuss the importance of compound interest. If you keep your money in your checking account, most of them, not all, do not earn interest. In a savings account, to varying degrees, the bank or credit union you are banking with will add a percentage of your savings to your account. Compound interest allows you to save even faster. It helps you build wealth because you are paid interest on the original amount deposited as well as previously earned interest. Let's look at this chart on the right. In this scenario, Gabby is going to add $125 a month to her savings account for 30 years. That is the same across all the scenarios. At the bottom, we see if she puts her money, if she keeps it cash or she puts it in an account that does not earn her interest, by the end of the 30 years, she's going to have around close to $50,000. And this is putting the $125 in the account every month without change. If she finds a savings vehicle that has a 3% interest rate, like the next green line, she'll increase her savings at the end of those 30 years to around $75,000 because of the added interest. On the high end, if she can find something that gets her an 8% interest rate, Gabby would be close to $200,000 in savings. So this is just a way to illustrate the importance of using savings vehicles that will earn interest for you. When you're choosing what savings vehicle you will have, you want to use, you will have to evaluate your risk tolerance. At the top, you have high stakes investments that carry the most risk. This means you're most likely to lose money. Then you have long-term hold investments, meaning you're holding or not cashing them in the next 5 years or so. Stocks are included here. After, you have medium-term holds, tools that includes bonds, and then short-term holds, money that is easily accessible because you need it in the next 3 years. A way to evaluate what kind of savings vehicle will be appropriate for you is to go back to your budget, go back to your goals, and see what is the most appropriate. If you know you need the money in 3 months, it might not make sense to put it in a stock that you have to hold for years to be able to make money back. With that in mind, let's go over our savings tools. We have regular savings accounts, money market accounts, certificates of deposits, and then we have investing tools, including bonds, savings bonds, treasury bonds, stocks, mutual funds, retirement accounts, and your home or your small business. These are all ways that you invest money throughout your life. The most basic is the savings account. Depending on your bank, most people get a savings account when they open a basic checking account with them. Depending on the account, you may earn interest on the money you deposit in that savings account. Even for savings accounts, the most basic of these, there's many different types with different terms that you need to evaluate when choosing which to sign up for. They may have different account minimum balances, meaning they expect you to have a certain amount of money in that account at all times, or they may charge you a fee. They may have variable interest rates. So when you first signed up, they said it was 0.5% interest that you would be earning, but they reserve the right to lower it or increase it at any time. And there's a lot of other factors to consider when choosing your account. Money market accounts, which earn interest, may offer check writing services and impose no fees with a minimum balance. So another benefit of the savings account is as close to liquid with any of these options that you're going to have. So you can access the money quickly. When you're getting into certificates of deposits, which are purchased for a specific term and return principal and interest at the end of the term. And most likely you will have early withdrawal penalties. So you have to look at your risk that you're willing to take and how long you want that, how long you can let that money grow before you need to take it out and use it. On the investing side, when you buy bonds, you are lending money to a federal or state agency, municipality, or other issuer. Savings bonds, treasury bonds, and many more types. Bonds fall into this medium part of our risk and hold pyramid. They have set terms that you research before you invest in them. And they may have lower return than a stock, but it's more likely that you'll get your money back without losing anything. Stocks at the highest part of the pyramid. When you buy common stock, you become a part owner of the company and are known as a stockholder. Stockholders can make money in two ways. You receive a dividend payment or you sell your stock that has appreciated. So if you bought one stock at $1 and 2 years from now it is worth 10, you can sell it for the difference and that's the money you've earned. A dividend is an income distribution by the corporation to the shareholders, usually quarterly. Another important aspect of your saving strategies that contributes to your wealth is your retirement accounts. There's many different types out there. You've probably heard all the different acronyms and names, IRA, Roth, 401k, etc. Depending on your financial and employment situation, the best choice may be different. The important thing to remember is that starting as early as possible will set you up for retirement more comfortably. And this is another part where research and speaking with experts and seeking guidance is going to be important. Your employer may offer matching, but maybe there's a vesting period. And what does that mean? And how does it work? So making sure you're doing the homework so that you're choosing the best option for yourself and your family. Finally, another major investment is your house and the equity it builds if you own a house. Like we discussed earlier, equity in a home is the difference between the market value of the home and the amount of money you owe on it. Let's use Anthony's home as an example. Anthony takes a 15-year mortgage rather than a more traditional 30-year mortgage, and this is going to enable him to own his house in 15 years. It's the same loan amount, and it's going to be a lower interest rate because of the term is lower. Of course, Anthony is going to make higher monthly payments on his mortgage than he would have, but he's going to build equity quicker and ultimately pay less interest. By making those higher monthly payments, Anthony not only will own his house outright in 15 years, but he will save over $56,000 in interest payments. Making higher monthly payments, of course, means budgeting. Anthony chose to budget extra money each month out of his paycheck and make wise spending choices so he can do just that. Thank you for joining us. We hope this information was helpful to help you in starting your building wealth strategy. You can access the Building Wealth website and its information online on the Dallas Fed. They have a great interactive website where you can use their calculators and see all the different scenarios, Gabby, Anthony, etc. The library has many resources to help you on your financial journey. We have the Morningstar Investment Research Center and Value Line. These are databases available to card holders for free as part of being a card holder, and they specialize in investment research. So if you want to look up information about stock in a specific company, in Ford and Meta, Facebook, etc., this is where you would look up that information. In addition to that, there's always our personal finance collection. All the libraries are going to have a section related to personal finance. Popular books include I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Sethi, The Total Money Makeover by Ramsey, and many more. And also, if you are digitally inclined, look those up on Overdrive so that you can access it directly from your phone or computer. Finally, additional Money Smart classes. The next part of this series is in December 9th for controlling debt. And we have a class coming up at Schimmelfinnig, which is on Custer Road, about 6 ways to tackle financial stress on December 6th at 6:30 p.m. And then be on the lookout. We're nearing the end of our fall season. So closer to January, they're going to release what's coming up for spring, and there'll be more financial literacy classes for you. Plano Library created a podcast if you care to subscribe. And if there's any questions, please place them in the chat. We'll be happy to try and answer them. And if not, when you close out, a survey should pop up for you. Please let us know if you have any feedback in there. Thank you so much.